I wanted to kind of show you how I have these kits set up. Excuse me. I'm going to try to locate some videos, instructional videos, to send along so that you have an idea how they all work. What I've done on the tourniquet is I've taken them out of the package so that they could be deployed quicker. So they come like this, they're wrapped in plastic. What I've done is taken them out. I've taken the strap off that secures the windlass, and I put it about right there so that it's open. And then what I've done is I've also pulled it out. And the reason you want to stage it like this is so that you can put it on with one hand if you have to. The red tip always goes toward the heart. So if you think about it, it points in, and then you're able to deploy it just by pulling. And I'll show you. So you deploy it, you get it tight, wrap it around, and then you can start spinning the windlass until the bleeding stops. And then you stick it inside the clasp, roll this over, and write the time that the tourniquet was applied to the limb. It's really important. So what I would do is sorry, I had to let Sadie out. I would take one out and show everybody in your group, the other folks on your medical team. I think you said that there's some folks that have been assigned to kind of respond to things that happen. I would take one out and let everybody play with it. Let everybody put it on. Let everybody understand that when you tighten one of these things down, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Kids are going to be screaming, but you got to stop the bleeding. So just make sure that they understand that. You got to get it on tight, because you're only going to get a couple turns on this windlass before you just run out of material. So they got to make sure they get it on there tight. The way I set this thing up is I take and really you never really have to pull it out of this. You shouldn't have to, because it's always going to be slipped on. I guess to put it on a leg you might want to do that. But once again, just always remember that the red tip goes toward the heart, and you're going to be pulling across the body, if you will. So the way I would set this up, and the way I set mine up when they're in the vehicle or in one of my range bags, is pull this through about 6 to 8 inches, and then go ahead and attach it down. And then what you can do is just kind of fold the other side in. It's Velcro, and you just kind of fold it in on itself, and then just start wrapping it up. How many times you wrap it and the way you get it is really just depends on your kit. I got it pretty short. I've wrapped it up pretty tight just to fit in these Ziploc bags, so they'll fit in that one kit. So that's the reason I set it up like that. So once again, I'll just kind of, and what I did is I just wrapped them took them out of the, you're in a high stress situation, there's no way you'd ever get to this. So you always want to make sure they're out of the wrapping. Take all that out. They came with a Ziploc bag. It says Recon Medical on it. It's UV protectant. It's what you would stick this in if you were going to put this on your kit or on your, some people you can bungee this on your bike or your motorcycle someplace handy, so that if in the event that you're in a wreck and you've severed a limb, you're able to reach it and get to it. Once again, I'm just going to show you how I set them up. It comes set up like this. I always take this part off and then set it up right there like that, so that you can get in there. And then we'll open it all the way up. Oh, here comes Brenda. You're going to fold it over like that. And then once again on the opposite side, what I do is just fold it in and then lay the Velcro on top of itself until you're kind of done with that, how you have it set up. There are a lot of videos online on people staging their cat tourniquets, CAT, combat, application tourniquet, something like that. I think that's what it stands for. So that's, once again, that's how they'll come in each one of these kits. More times than not, this is going to be the first thing you're going to grab. You got somebody that has severe bleeding, they're in risk of bleeding out, you're going to grab this. So just to let you know everything that's going into one of these kits, we have a 4-inch Israeli bandage. There's videos online, a lot of training videos online on how to use these. I'm not going to tear into one. I'll email you or text you those videos. North American Rescue rolled gauze. This is for wound packing. Believe it or not, that little fat thing has a lot of gauze in there. So it just, of course, the North American Rescue is real good about having tabs, everything to tear it open. And then I'm going to have a Z-Pack gauze. Once again, this is just all for wound packing. You're just going to get in there, and what I would do, once again, there's a lot of videos on how to use this stuff. What you could do is go down to the dollar store or Dollar General and buy a bunch of gauze, 99-cent stuff, the really cheap stuff, to have people practice with packing a wound. They kind of need to get that technique down. And what does it mean to pack a wound? What happens when you have severe bleeding? A lot of times maybe it's in a situation where you're not going to be able to put a tourniquet on it. Maybe it's on up cavity or in the junctional area. You can't apply a tourniquet, right? You can't get something up high enough, and so you're going to end up needing to pack that wound. I'm going to have 4 hyphen chest seals. These are for tension pneumothorax. They're for holes in the lungs, and so they come in a 2-pack, one for the front, one for the back. If there was an event where there was no through and through, and that's a protocol, you sweep the casualty to make sure if there's no blood on the back of the casualty, then it's not a through and through. You only need to use one. That's pretty much it. I'm sure we'll talk. I just want to put together this real quick video just to kind of show you how I have these tourniquets staged, and I'm sure we'll have more conversations about everything else. Talk to you soon.